right. I am here. I'm here. Oh no. Wi-Fi. Yay. Good job, me. Add a live goal. Sure. Why not? Sure. Oh, that's weird. I don't like it. Oh, unpin. I don't like it. All right, you guys. Make sure you're sharing it out. I don't know if anybody's in here. Make sure you're sharing it out. June gloom. Hi, everybody that's joining me. So we will be discussing character defects. And it goes hand in hand with some other steps that I'll be discussing, but I'm not going to get into that right now. Please share it out. Make sure you're liking the live. So I've been in a recovery for 4 years now, and I've just been getting live discussing topics about recovery. Even if you're not in recovery, I try to help out with mental issues as well. There's people that do struggle without addiction, but there's also people that do have mental issues as well. Right now, I'm going to be discussing some character defects, and it leads into the fourth step in the big book of AA, and it's also in a program of NA as well. So it doesn't really matter which program that you choose to join. I'm open to whatever. I know with me, alcohol was my number one defect, and a lot has happened in my life depending on alcohol. It also did lead me into doing other drugs and other issues as well. Mental illness, domestic violence, PTSD, depression, anxiety. It all kind of comes all together in one situation. So my thing was alcohol, and it led me to other issues. Hi, Red. Hi, Jennifer, and everybody else that's coming in. Thank you so much for joining the live. Please like the screen. Please share it out. I'm trying to get as many people in here as I can, because it's a good topic to discuss, and it doesn't really matter if it's coming from a program itself. I think everybody should do a personal inventory on themselves. It's hard, and it will be very difficult, but if you find out your character flaws, that's one way to heal yourselves into fully loving yourself. And we all know I'm all about positive healing, positive reinforcement, and we all know that I'm just a positive person. And self-love is all I know how to do now. And I don't want to I've been in recovery for 10 years now. In September, wow, congratulations. That's pretty badass. I've been in recovery for 4 years. Oh, thank you so much for all the gifts. You're welcome. That's a big deal, dude. Like full 10, you said 11 or 10 years? 10 years now. That's a huge chapter. Huge chapter. So, congratulations on the time that you've been clean and sober. I'm proud of you. Oh, thank you. So, like I said, no. Can you guys hear me? Hi, Nathan. How are you doing? Make sure you're sharing it out. And will I'm trying to share it out as well. There's like nobody online. Like, what? It's all good. All good. All good. It's been rough, I won't lie. Well, that's the whole thing. Healing is rough. It's not like if we we're not battling right now. For me personally, it's not drug problem anymore. It's behavioral. Oh, see? That also needs to change as well. Places, things, routines, it all comes all together in the whole changing your life. I tell all my sponsees it's gonna get messy before it gets better. You're you're gonna hit rock bottom in your recovery, right? That's why we get into recovery. So you hit rock bottom, but also when you come into recovery, you start healing yourself and you start finding out more things about yourself. And that's when it gets really messy. Like the steps itself is a guideline for us to improve ourselves. So right now, I aggressiveness when I'm triggered. Well, that is something I actually just shared about on my other live about boundaries and triggers and everything else like that. You could find that on YouTube. If you want, you could go into my link on my bio and you could listen in on it. The only way to start improving yourselves is to have that strong set of boundaries, that foundation. Because if we don't have that foundation, then we're going to sit at a wall and we're going to keep trying to climb up at that wall, but that wall, it's going to slip. So if you don't have that stable foundation to build upon a wall, it's going to crumble. So boundaries, you have to find your triggers and everything else like that to, in a way, start forming your healing energy. So if you don't have a strong set of boundaries, then you will fumble. I've given plenty of warning to give space, but people don't listen. So if people don't listen to a strong for you, right? If people don't listen, then they really don't respect your boundaries. So the thing is, you have to be able to understand, and people have to understand why you are in place with those boundaries. If you don't tell them, okay, that was a whole other alive. But then those people aren't your people respectfully. Exactly. Those people aren't your people respectful. If they're hurting you and you tell them something and they totally be like, hey, that's not the issue. Okay, well, for one, they're not listening to you. Everybody feels. Everybody has feelings. The thing is, a lot of people don't know how to handle those feelings. So what we do as addicts or alcoholics is we try to numb those feelings. But even if we're not in recovery, there's other ways that, we try to like lash out. the anger, the violence, and everything else like that. Like those are the defects, the character defects that you have to find out for yourself. See, my character defects are abandonment issues, fear. It was basically all out of fear. Reasons why I drank is because my fear. So once I was able to sit down and take a look at myself and why I was the way that I was able to have my higher power remove my fears, my abandonment issues, the self-esteem issues, the things that I drank for. So if you're in a relationship, right, and you're trying and trying and trying, right, but they don't respect you for one, and it's just going to be a toxic cycle. When you're in a codependent relationship where they're using and it's affecting you in a certain way, right? And you're using, that's a whole other spiel. That's so totally different ball field. So when we try to heal ourselves, if we don't know how to heal ourselves, what are we doing? So when I come into my lives, I talk about discussions, and I talk about how myself has been healed, and I also write down how other steps and stuff like that you could try to do. So right now we are discussing character defects, which is step 4. If you do practice a program, okay, which reads, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves, right? So that's where we come into play with our character defects. I was codependent from past trauma that caused me to be alone, but I'm happy for once. Okay, so I will touch that topic right now. I've been single for 6 years. 6 years. And I've been in recovery for 4 of them. So when I chose to leave my toxic relationship, I started finding out more about myself. And when I started seeing the way that I was and the way that I, was doing and the way that I was actually like, I didn't have my worth. I didn't have anything that I was raised. I didn't have my morals. I didn't have any boundaries. So I allowed people to walk all over me. And once we start healing ourselves, that's when we start forming those boundaries, right? So when we start feeling better about ourselves, we tend to heal other people around us. I've been getting to know myself. Exactly. See, I'm content being alone, okay? So with me, I'd rather be alone instead of in chaos and confusion. So when I come into a relationship, they have to be willing to work with me and understand me. If they can't understand me, then why am I in a relationship? My kids benefit with me. Exactly. My kids benefit with me too. And that's why I've been single, because I've been totally healing myself. So along that lines, yeah, I'm now in a way kind of seeing somebody, and we're not pushing any aspect in a relationship. And I'm content with that. No expectations, because if we have expectations on how other people are going to treat us, what's going to happen? We're going to always get let down. So I just go with the flow. And, my past is the past. And, I healed from my past. So if they're going to sit there and put my past in my face, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I've already healed myself. So maybe you should do some healing. Those are boundaries. It's not because I'm stuck up. It's not because I'm better than anybody. It's because I've healed myself from my past. My past does not define who I am today. My past defines, it was like an asset. Okay. I think the past, the scars and everything else like that, it's us. We have to be willing to look through our own personal flaws in order for us to be content with our own self. So if I come into a relationship, I want to be an asset in somebody's life. Okay. Rather it's friends, lovers, business, anything. I'm going to be an asset in somebody's life. I'm going to have that positive vibe, that positive energy. I don't like negative, because negative energy brings me down. So I'm on this whole other level. So if they want to be on this whole other level, they have to be willing to understand me. That's when our boundaries come into place. But this is not what we're talking about. We are going to be talking about character defects. And please share it out and like the screen. The right person will be there. Exactly. The right person will be there, and they will understand you fully and not look at you as what you did in the past. They will find ways to understand you fully for who you truly are. And that's the whole thing about recovery or mental health issues. We're all human. Okay. We are all human. We have these flaws that fucking drain us. Sorry for language. I cuss like a sailor. Just saying. Why are you saying sorry? I'm not even paying attention to the comments. I'm so bad. I'm a hermit. No rush. Exactly. I'm a hermit too. There's no rush in anything. Take it one day at a time. That's what we do. We take it one day at a time. We take it 24 hours a day, right? Seconds throughout the day. There's no, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't tell time like that. So if you live one day at a time and be happy with yourself one day at a time, you're fully going to be aware of yourself and your surroundings. So, like I said, we are going to be discussing character defects and personal inventory, because this is what we are going to be discussing. So we all have these flaws, and all humans are flawed. Humans, obviously, we are not perfect in any way whatsoever. Progress, not perfection. Okay. We all learn. And once we start learning, that's when we start getting into our own selves. Okay. You could fully love yourself, but try to get out of your head, for one, so you could actually be able to understand other people. That's also when we have to drop our egos, because our egos are the ones that make us try to be better than somebody else. So if we don't have those egos, right, we won't feel like we're better than anybody else. We're all equal. We're all humans. What's up? What's up, everybody that's coming in? Thank you so much for coming in and joining me on my live. So we're going to be discussing some character defects. So like I said, we're all human. Everybody has their flaws. We all have weaknesses. But we're trying to learn how to function our weaknesses as strength. They're assets in our life. We're not weak because we have these boundaries. We're not weak because sometimes people trigger us. We are not weak. As long as you know how to fight through your triggers, and once you know how to fight through your boundaries, and your boundaries are in place to protect you, there's nothing wrong with having a strong set of boundaries. Hello, I really wish I could get a hug. I'm feeling so broken today. Why are you feeling broken? This is not what we need to do. We need to find positive. And I'm sorry that you're going through some stuff, we are here to help. So any type of dealings that you have to be going through, you're not alone. This is a safe place. I have my mods here for a reason, and we all here. My Harley Davidson is out of gas. Sorry, I'm not trying to laugh at you. That was actually pretty funny though. Okay, so like I said, it's only when we feel these imperfections, okay? That's when we feel like we're suffering. For reals, I'm so devastated. I'm sorry. I can't help you out right now. I thought you were actually thinking about like other things. I'm sorry. My bad. I'm not trying to laugh at you anyway, whatsoever. My heart goes out to you. I hope you could find some gas for your Harley. We find these imperfections and they make us lead to these sufferings, where the real cause and concern for most people is, a lot of us choose to cope with life in a certain way. So when we try to find out why we are the way that we are without the help that we need, we get shut down. We have a community here on TikTok that helps other people. We try to help other people in a way that we know how to do it ourselves. We talk to our sponsors. We talk to a support group. We talk to the people that know who we truly are. And that's when we come into a program where we're not alone. Today I'm great. Wow, 167 days clean and sober. I am so proud of you. Like I said, that's a big deal too. All these people that are in here, they're in here for a reason. So when we're discussing character defects, that's what we are here trying to understand. Most people have minor character defects, but then some of them have major character defects where, like I said, I felt fear. I felt abandonment issues. I had no self-worth. I had no self-esteem. I was depressed all the time. I had anxiety. And that was, ma'am, did you send me the link to what? I don't know what you're talking about, Coach. I was trying to share it out to a lot of people, but apparently I don't really have that many people here. Like how, like on the thing that I'm trying to share it all out. No link. Did you kick me out of the Cool Kids Club? No, I would never do that to you. You're like you're like one of my friends. I love it. I love what you do with your lives and everything else of that. So when I tried to send it out to a lot of people, I just gave up. I should probably not give up. But anyways, so we are discussing character defects, coaches. So if you want to come inside the box, you can come inside the box. I'm more happy to have other people come in. I love you too. I love you too. But miss your face too. But yeah, if you guys want to come in the box, you're more than welcome to come in the box. But we were trying to get everything situated to be discussing some character defects. So it is necessary for recovering addicts to put in effort. Put in effort, okay? And into removing more serious defects. if you have this way of thinking inside your head, which is why we are the way that we are, if we don't change that way of thinking, what's going to happen? We're going to keep going into a cycle that doesn't change. So the change and being able to handle the change, even though it's very discomforting because it's a totally different way that you thought, right? It's very, I know for a fact it was very uncomfortable for me to find out who I truly was. I had to do deep healing, like the trauma-based healing, in order for me to do what I do every day. And yes, I'm not perfect. I don't have that perfect attitude, but I try to live my life in a positive way where negative energy doesn't affect me. So when we remove our character defects, we are expected to fix everything. It's not gonna be able. We cannot fix everything overnight. We cannot. It takes time. It takes time, patience, energy. It takes a lot to heal yourselves from the inside out. That means your brain, your body, baby steps. Exactly. Baby steps. It takes baby steps and growth, patience with yourself, even forgiving yourself for what happened to you in the past. That's a big thing. Forgiving yourself is how you start healing yourself. Forgiving all them is how you start healing yourself. You don't have to, you don't have to forget what they did to you, but being able to forgive them for yourself. Because even if they don't forgive you, right? Being able to forgive them for yourselves is healing. The shit I did in the past with my family and all my kids, everything else like that. For one, I was in my active addiction. I was so selfish. Even though I was a good mom, I was still in that selfish mindset. So I put my kids through a lot. And I'm still healing for that. They're still healing for that. But what they do now is they tell me, hey, mom, go to a meeting. You need to go to a meeting. You're getting stressed out. Go to a meeting. So, hello, my kids are my recovery. My higher power put me in my mind, in my healing, to be able to end the cycles that I've had for generations and generations of alcoholics. So my kids could have that choice to be free, where I didn't have that choice to be free. Now I do. So, like I said, we can't fix everything overnight. But if we continue to have that effort and that time and that patience and that healing that we need, we will be able to get through a lot. As humans, we have to have that developmental function. We have to continue learning about ourselves and learning about other things around us to make us feel happy and positive. We have to learn. If, like a seed, okay, if we have this seed and we have too much water, it's going to die. If we have too much sun, it's going to die. You have to be willing to water it and, give it sunlight. But it has to be equal, because if it doesn't come equal, right, the plant itself won't be able to produce fruit, flowers, anything. If it doesn't have a strong foundation to build strong roots, right, the plant's going to go nowhere. Good morning, everybody that's coming in. So, like I said, we all grow. And when we have a support system, a program, or somebody that we could come to help us and guide us, that's what we need to do. That's why one of my things I spoke on the other day was my higher power. Because my higher power saved me. It made me realize that I have somebody there to confront to ask questions, to pray to. And like I said, your higher power doesn't have to be him up there. It could be whatever you guys want it to be. When I came into the program, I found myself in the ocean. My ocean was my higher power. And then I started thinking about it. The stars, the moon, the sun, plants, nature is all here for a reason. You could have a flower and talk to that flower every day and it's going to grow. You could sing to that flower every day and it's going to grow. So when we talk about character defects and character flaws, that's what we are going to be, like I said, discussing. A flaw is defined by any type of imperfection. Like I said, progress, not perfection. That's what we need to think inside our mind. Progress, not perfection. Okay? So it could be described in somebody that grew up being perfect, that had to be perfect, right? Growing up at a young age, I had to be perfect because we had issues in the family that I had to grow up at a young age. Okay. So I trained my mind to be like, I need to be perfect. I had to cook dinner. I had to clean. I had to do everything in my power to make sure that everything was going to be okay. So when I let go of that perfectivism, is that a word? I don't think it's a word, but it is now. So I had to get over that fact. I had to get over the fact that I was not perfect. Like I said, we all have our flaws, and our flaws is why we are here today. The scars that we've been through is why we're here today. It gives strength. We overcame a lot being in recovery and being human. We are not robots. By any means, we are not robots. We feel. And the way that we felt is what we had to do. We had to cope with ongoing issues that we had no control over and we thought we could control them. So the most common character flaws is selfishness, jealousy, ignorance, judging others, pride, dishonesty. You know, the list goes on. Okay. It goes on. Laziness. Okay. The list does go on. You could have many pages of your character flaws. Okay. But when we come into the 12-step program, like I said, the 4th step, we made a fearless moral inventory of ourselves. The 12-step program, it was developed in alcoholics. Bill Wilson invented the book in 1935. 1935. It's been around for over more than 50 years. And it's very detailed into the steps. It's a self-help program where we learn to love ourselves. And self-centeredness, yes. And moving through the steps requires deep reflection on both circumstances, yourself. And when we come into steps, it's very important to reflect on your character defects, why we are the way that we are. There's worksheets out there that come, even talking about it, to another person helps. Character defects in recovery, in addiction recovery, character defects are negative traits or behavior that affect the way that you think, interactions with others, any ideal manner. Like we can't go on life on this path of perfectness. We can't, because we are already learning different ways to cope with other things. So the defects can range greatly, and it's self-control, addictive behaviors that include, dishonesty, selfishness, impulsiveness. Like, have you ever decided that you're going to go on Amazon, right? And then even though that you're strapped for cash, you decide that you want to buy something? Like I've done that before. Like seriously, even though it's something I didn't even need, I spent money because I wanted to spend money. That was the impulsiveness that I had. Impulse issues too, where even though you are in this whole ordeal, like anger issues, like not anger issues, like if you're even trying to fight in any situation, right? It's fight or flight. Okay. So we developed this pattern at a young age. What's up, everybody? We developed this pattern at a young age. So addressing the character defects, it focuses on self-improvement, making amends for yourself and for others. Shopping issues, yes. Shopping issues, it comes in line, right? And like, if you have ADHD too, like I have ADHD and I've had to fight, right? Even though I didn't mean to fight, I threw a punch and it happened and we got into a fight because my impulse issues were to react to the situation in an angry manner. We continue to discover the walk of our lives. Yes, we do, by going through the steps and discovering these things. But also, like I said, it doesn't mean that you're an alcoholic. It doesn't mean that you're an addict. Just working the steps, and it's help. It's help, self-help, self-improvement. If you have mental issues, try doing something, right? Like I had to go through the steps more than once, and that was the best time of my life. Not really the best time of my life because it got really dirty really quick, but it helps with my healing. So making amends to ourselves, past wrongs. The program encouraged individuals to take that moral inventory, that personal inventory, where we decide that we want to identify our negative traits and work on them in a positive manner, like honesty, humility, compassion. We bring our life, right? Our life, our character defects, and we are able to make positive. Like when I grew up, it was all messed up, right? Now, with my recovery, like I said, I'm able to end that cycle so my kids could be free. Whether or not they choose to do whatever they want to do, like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. But I know how to cope with myself. And I know how to cope with life. So if my kids do decide that they want to, I will be able to cope with them. I would be able to teach them tools to help with them. Ending that cycle so my kids don't deserve, so my kids have that choice to make instead of me using and drinking. So my kids could see what I used to do, right? My kids know about my recovery very well. And like I said, when I get stressed out, my kids even tell me, go to a meeting. Mom, I think you deserve a meeting because you've been working all kinds. You've been doing a lot through the house. Go to a meeting. I'll watch your breath. I'll watch him. That's what my oldest says. So I'm in a way trusting him to take care of his brother, but I'm not in a way depending on him to take care of his brother. He wants to do it so I can go to my meeting. So examples of character defects: denial, like I said, impulsiveness. A character flaw is a negative problematic trait or behavior in a person's personality or character. And it gives a persistent pattern throughout life and throughout other behaviors, and it creates problems in this person. But like I chose my character defects. This is what I wanted to heal. And being able to identify your character defects will help you out in the long run. I don't want battling right now, you guys. I just saw the Adam's up in here too. Hi, Adam. Anybody want to come in the box? You're the biggest supporter. And, oh, thank you. That makes me so happy. We can't act our way into right thinking. We have to truly heal. Exactly. I don't see any defects. I think you are perfect. Oh yeah, we have all kinds of defects. Don't get my head all twisted. But like I said, progress, not perfection. Like I said, if anybody wants to come in the box, you can. So like I said, we're discussing character defects. Aim for progress, not perfection. Ah! I think I saw your head, girl. Yeah, I did. Boy, do I have some defects. We do have some defects that we have to train ourselves to think is make them positive. We throw out all that negative and we find blessings and we find that learning experience so we could turn that negative into a positive. What's that thinking? I don't know that thing. Adam, you're up on here. Thinking. No, there's actually a thing that we do in recovery, where my biggest defects are also my biggest strength. Exactly. We find our biggest defects can now be our assets, so we could, that's what I was trying to discuss.
Cognitive distortion, yeah.
Yes. And Adam's right there in that bubble, and he needs to probably come up in here and explain it. But that's what I was trying to talk about, where we...
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
Our whole world becomes a distorted mess when we're sick. And just for me, and this is my experience going through the work and doing this, is that I found that all my character defects had a base. Was it fear? Was it fear that I wasn't going to get something I wanted? Even my anger went back to fear because my anger was set off by things that I was afraid of. I was afraid somebody was going to get over on me. I was afraid I wasn't going to get what I want. I was afraid it was going to affect my life negatively, which takes me to selfish and self-centeredness, because I'm sitting there in this cyclical thinking about me. I can't think about anything but me. And that's where a good mentor comes in, and they help us find these things about us through the work of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
But, I've never had a mentor go, we're this, this, and this. They helped me see them because it was important for me to see them so I can go, ick, ick, and they're still going to come up. I don't care how sober you get, your character defects are going to come up, but we get to recognize them today. And whether it means going to a mentor or whether it means spending some time in prayer or meditation, therapy, whatever it takes for us to see that and recognize it. We don't like to see the truth about ourselves. But as we go through the work, we desire to see the truth because I need to get down to the problem. And the problem for me was not alcohol. The problem was me. It was within me. The alcohol, I used that to numb everything.
Yeah.
And then it turned on me like it does, and it had me.
It's
And then
actually,
it just became my crutch. And then when you get in this position to where I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna do it some more. I can't do, and it's a good mentor is the key. I think I don't suggest anybody go through the steps by themselves because I won't look honestly at myself. I need somebody that's outside of me that is not emotionally affected to help me see these defects of character, which by the time I'm in, my fourth and fifth step, they are blaring. It's just like, whoa, you screwed up, girl. Anyway, that's all I got. I don't want to babble, but
no. That's totally different. That's what I want you guys to do is come up in the box and share what you feel and what you want to say. Because I don't like people that um have to handle their emotions proper like messed up, right? So I
right.
give them the leeway to open up the buses so they could say what they want to say. Because when we don't say the things that we want to say,
Yeah.
hello, we
And
start
all in
getting
the
frustrated
big
again.
picture of all of this, it's about the person's experience that has gone before you.
Exactly.
I can't tell you how to do this by reading you the book.
Mm-mm.
You've got to have that experience, and my experience is not going to be your experience.
Like, yeah, we have our own ways to recovery and recover, and we all have our own paths of recovery.
Exactly.
Whatever, if I'm saying something right and it doesn't fly with you, right? I'm
That's okay.
able to understand it and open up so you could be like, oh yeah, so that didn't really work with me, but I did this. We
Yeah.
open up our eyes and we understand more because that's what we do. We
And
speak. We speak. We're able to be able to speak where our egos don't get all so whoa.
right, right. And I'm willing to set aside my ego to learn from somebody else's experience because, hey, this didn't work for me. How did you handle this? Or if in recovery, there is always somebody to go to that has had that experience. You just got to look for it.
Yes.
So
It's
anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to say that because for me, it was about experience because I'm trying to get all these people to teach me stuff, and they're just sharing their experience with me. The whole time they're teaching me through their experience, So anyway, I'll pass to the next person now, please. I feel like I'm in a meeting.
No, you're
I
good.
knew I shouldn't have
Yeah,
sat in the front row.
it's all right. I like you
No,
being
I'm
in
kidding.
the
You
front.
know me, I get pumped up about this stuff.
Exactly. That's why I started doing this in the first place. Because I get pumped up about it too. And I want to heal people just as much as you do. But
Right.
in order for us to heal anybody,
We
we
have to get
heal
healed.
ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. I can't help you if I don't have any water and you're thirsty. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have enough water for you because it's mine because I'm still selfish and self-centered. No, I won't share.
Exactly. But then we end up
We are
sharing.
funny birds, aren't we?
I love you, Grandma Rose.
I love you. I'm going to drop down now.
Okay. Okay. So she has a really good point. Being able to understand and accept our character defects. Okay. We had to do that because if if I did not accept my flaws, the ones that I used to drink for, how am I supposed to be able to help somebody else? So, um, minor character flaws, sometimes it could cause it's annoyance, right? We don't want to go through our shit. We don't want to find out stuff about ourselves. We don't like looking at ourselves. But in order for us to be able to go forward into the steps, we had to be able to heal. We had to be able to look at ourselves for what we were so we could change who we were to now. I have my own. Exactly. I'm tapped out. Why are you tapped out? Don't. Oh, well, thank you. So, I halfway believed I was the person I pretended to be. Oh no, that's the worst thing. Exactly. It's the worst thing to do to actually look inside that mirror, right? And be like, oh my gosh, I did that. I can't believe I did that. But why did I do that? And I played that victim role. Okay? That victim mentality, the stuff we did and we blamed somebody else, dude, we can't do that. We cannot do that. We have to be able to blame ourselves for our own wrongdoings. We can't pinpoint and point at other people when we can't we can't do it. I know I can't do that anymore. If I was wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll admit that I'm wrong. Exactly. Once we start taking that mask off and we start healing ourselves, we stop pretending. So there's one person in my program that I look up I look for. Okay. He is one has watched me grow when I came in that program. And he told me when I first came in the program, you need to stop co-signing your bullshit. I'm like, what bullshit? I'm like, hello, this person did this to me. No, 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 no. Why did this person do that to you? And why did you let them do that to you? For one, I didn't have boundaries. So I let this person do that to me. So when he said, what did I just say right now? Right? No co-signing your bullshit. And that stuck in my head. And that's kind of why I did these steps. So I can look at myself in that way of healing. The shit that I've been through, I put myself there. Yeah, there's other things that happen, but I still drank because I put myself there, because I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have that. I put myself in places and situations that allowed me to be hurt. Exactly. I did too. Domestic violence situations, relationships, codependent relationships. I allowed people in my life to hurt me because I never had that boundary in place. I let them walk all over me. So I played that victim where they hurt me. So I hate them for that, right? Hate's a really strong word. I might dislike people, but I let you guys know if I dislike you. But to be honest with you, I don't really dislike anybody. You know why? Because my opinions about somebody is my own opinion. I don't need to put it out there into the world, right? I don't need to talk bad about somebody in order for me to feel better. That's arrogant. I know my flaws and I know what I've been through. And I deserve to be a sober mom till this day and take care of me. I deserve to take care of myself. I deserve to take care of my kids. I deserve to have a life being sober. So we can heal ourselves. Okay. So the pain is a touchstone. Yes, it's painful to look at yourself in that way. But the only way to heal is to look at it. A lot of people, okay, so in recovery, a lot of people don't do these steps. The 4th step, the 5th step, the 6th step. These 3 steps coincide with each other. And most people in recovery, if they don't have a strong foundation, they will not go through these steps, which requires relapse. I'm going to be very honest with you. These 3 steps will change your life. Rather or not, you are in recovery. Your personal inventory is who you are. And if you don't know your personal inventory, you're going to drop down the light on somebody else. Hurt people. So if you don't heal yourself, you're going to hurt somebody else, or you're going to get hurt. So if you don't know your personal inventory, your shortcomings, everything else of that, sometimes we will fail. But when we go over the steps, we try to figure it out, right? If we don't have that support system right there, our mentor, our sponsor, these are the people who help us. Sometimes people do go through the steps, but they don't go through them thoroughly, like Grandma Rock said. So the pain is a touchstone of recovery. And with that being said, it is very uncomfortable, but my higher power won't put me in a situation I cannot get out of. I trust them completely with myself, right? So the uncomfortableness that you feel when we start working these steps is healing, is growing. That's how we grow, is we put ourselves in an uncomfortable situations where we know how to get out of. We talk to somebody else about it. The whole talking and being all, open and vulnerable with somebody saves lives. I know it saved my life. So the dangers of ignoring your character flaws. That's a good topic right there. Character flaws get in the way of progress. Okay. True happiness only occurs when people are uncomfortable. Okay, I'm going to read that again. True happiness only occurs when people are comfortable in their own skins. Okay? So if you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're not going to be able to do anything. Psychologically, we have to be comfortable in our own skin. We have to know who we truly are. Because if we're not comfortable in our own skins, then, we can't, like I said, we're only human. But if we can't be comfortable in own skins and look at each other, look in the mirror and be okay with yourself, that's going to be a downfall. Okay. So these character flaws will cause other people to suffer. If you want to help other people, right, you don't need other people to suffer. So if you don't heal yourself fully and be aware of yourself and who you truly are, like I said, hurt people hurt people. So if you want to help people, you have to be able to be okay with yourself. You have to be able to be comfortable in your own skin. You have to be able to take what happened, take what I used to do in my past and turn them into a positive so I could help other people. That's what we do. And going through the steps is very important. So we can be who we truly are. Okay? Turn the TV down, dear. Excuse me, the TV's not on. Your TV is loud? What are you talking about? My TV's not on. Anyways, so family, friends, colleagues, people who already suffered, it's Ventura cops. What are you? I'm confused on what they are doing. Sirens. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, that's. See, my monitors will mute you. Okay. Yes, I had sirens that went by my house. But yeah, it's not the TV. That was sirens. I don't know what was going on, but anyways. So like I was saying, it's not fair to other people. It's definitely not fair to other people. If you want to help other people, it's not fair to other people if you cannot look at yourself. Because basically you're just hiding a mask, right? You're masking these things up and not looking at yourself completely and fully. So you can't really help another human being if you can't look at yourself fully. Okay? And the main goal as people in recovery is to know serenity. Okay? So serenity is in the state where we feel at peace, content with ourselves. When problems arise, we know how to handle the situations. In order for people to obtain that state of serenity, we have to be willing to go through our character flaws. So like I said, these 3 steps, half the time people don't do them. Step 4, step 5, and 6. And that's why I'm trying to, discuss this about it, because it helps other people. It helps us realize who we truly are. And it helps us realize that we can and will become better than once we used to be. Once we used to be? That makes sense, right? So after this, right? Tools to help you with your character flaws. There's worksheets out there. There's, other people that you could talk to, right? Journaling, meditation, reading, it all works. So journaling is very useful as of tracking your character flaws, making a list down, writing it out. Meditation, definitely very useful when we want to speak about ourselves. And, it helps to join a program. I know everybody's all iffy on joining a program. I know it helped me. I know it definitely helped me be the person who I need to be. So, anyways, though that's what I was gonna discuss. And I have to actually get ready because I have to go pick up my son soon. And, we will be discussing in a couple. You made me realize I'm not okay with my skin. That's my biggest weakness. Well, that skin you're in is going to be there for the rest of your life. So you might have to do some deep healing in order for you to be fully aware of who you truly are. And it does work. And once you're comfortable in your own skin, everything else is going to be okay for you. And it takes time and it takes patience. It takes us how do I want to say that? It will take us through that spiral, but there's always a way out of that spiral. So, anyways, I just wanted to discuss some character defects with everybody. So, I will be putting this on YouTube. So, if anybody wants to, or if anybody missed this, it would be on YouTube. Also, the next 2 steps I will be discussing will be number 5 and number 6, because they all come together as one. So once you're able to discuss your character defects openly with another person, you're going to find out who you truly are. And once you do that, your higher power will remove your shortcomings. Anyways, so I love you guys, and thank you for all the gifts, and thank you for all coming in and joining me live on discussing character defects. So I will be back soon. I will be discussing number 5 and number 6. So love you all. Oh, also 3 positive affirmations today. That'd be awesome. You could always tag me, or if you're going to put it on video, that'd be awesome. Also, 3 things that you're thankful for. And let's see, what other homework? Make sure you tell somebody that you love them. Okay, love you.